Moments from the big night. Happening right now, the DeKalb County School Board asking the community to weigh in on plans for students to return to the classroom. Educators have criticized the district after they were asked to return last Wednesday, saying they don't feel it's safe. Tracy A. McPeer reports.
Today's school board meeting comes as we learn a DeKalb County staff member recently died from COVID-19. The school district confirmed that Washington Varnum Jr. worked as a campus supervisor at Henderson Middle School for the last 3 years. Last Monday, he passed away from the virus, but the school district did not give any details on how or where he may have been exposed. Right now, only educators are being asked to return to school campuses in DeKalb County. Students have been entirely virtual since last March when the pandemic began. The district previously said about 30% of parents expressed interest in an in-person option. Teachers have held protests saying they want to be vaccinated before returning.
At least try to cover us. Let's be clear. We don't want to go in front of the elderly, or anything like that, but we would appreciate if the district or the state would say, well, we want you back in the classroom. We're going to give you some help, something to make you feel comfortable about going back. That's all we're asking for.
But the governor has said at this time there's simply not enough doses to open eligibility to teachers who are included in Phase 1B of the vaccine rollout for Georgia. We also learned today that a couple of schools in DeKalb County had to be closed to be sanitized. That includes Smoke Rise Elementary and Columbia High School. Now, a classroom at Panola Way Elementary was also closed to be sanitized, but it is now open again.
I think it's time for schools to reopen safely. Safely. You have to have fewer people in the classroom.
President Biden giving his first TV interview since taking office just before Super Bowl kickoff for schools to reopen by the end of April. This week, the CDC is expected to weigh in and release new guidance on how to get kids back into the classrooms safely. That guidance could include whether schools should reopen without teachers and staff being vaccinated. Here in Georgia, some Atlanta public schools students returned to class this morning for the first time since March. An in-person option offered for the first time today for grades 3 through 5th. The district hopes to allow 6th through 12th grades back next Tuesday. Pre-K through 2nd grade and special education already have the in-person option. Henry County Schools also welcoming back its students for the first time in 2021 today. Students are returning to a staggered schedule by their last name. Half the students will be in person on Mondays and Tuesdays. The other half will return on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Friday is a teacher workday. Remote learning there is still an option. And Rockdale County Schools began offering COVID-19 testing for students today. The move comes 2 weeks after making the testing available to employees. Right now, the district is on a full virtual class schedule until February 22nd. That's when in-person classes will resume on a hybrid schedule for the families who choose the option. Now, to the impact COVID-19 is having on our state, the death toll from the virus now standing at more than 13,300 lives lost since the pandemic began. This comes after Saturday's record-breaking number of deaths. The Department of Health reporting nearly 200. It is the most reported in a day since the pandemic began. Now, meanwhile, cases and hospitalizations continue to trend downward. That's some good news, but it still remains higher than what we saw during the summer surge. You can find all of the latest numbers and headlines involving COVID on 11alive.com.
Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be, Mom? Anyway, we're looking at Blue Ridge, live shot here from our tower cam there. Saw some folks walking down the street a little while ago, had on short sleeves. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's starting to warm up, but even here in Blue Ridge, temperatures are still in the 40s. I would suggest a light jacket at least, but whatever floats your boat or helps you get down the street, whatever it is. You're looking at clear skies just about everywhere. We have mostly sunny skies out there right now, and I think that's the way we're going to be for the rest of the afternoon. Very, very nice afternoon for us, and temperatures starting to heat up just a little bit. We have a few clouds back off to the west, and in fact, our clouds will come from the south. I think later on tonight, after the sun sets, we'll start to notice the clouds increase, and our chance for rain will start to go up as well over the next couple of days. Temperatures right now, right at 50 degrees in Atlanta and Canton, 51 over toward Rome, and 50 in Dalton, 49 degrees in Gainesville. You're right at 49 in Carrollton as well. Most areas in the 50s. It's up here to the north where you still have temperatures in the 40s, low 40s right there in Clayton. How about 56? 57 for an afternoon high. Yeah, that's good weather to get out and do a little exercise, right? Get it in before clouds begin to increase later on tonight. We're going to drop down to 50 degrees by 7 o'clock with a chance of rain going up. We're going to talk more about that in the full forecast coming up. Christy, back to you.
All right, Chesley, thank you. Today, a Carroll County substitute teacher is expected to appear before a judge this afternoon on 19 counts of child molestation. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office says 30-year-old Amelia Ressler committed, quote, indecent and immoral acts in front of second-grade children at Mount Zion Elementary. NBC News says investigators have photos and videos from the classroom. Caught on camera, McDonough police are looking for this man accused of sexually assaulting an elderly woman. It happened at a senior living complex on Friday. He is seen in this Ring doorbell video checking for unlocked doors. Eventually, he found one. If you recognize him, please contact McDonough Police or Crime Stoppers. A father in mourning sharing new photos with us of his wife and 3 daughters killed in a mobile home fire in Snellville over the weekend. Look at those sweet faces. Alexander Diaz says his life was ripped apart when 6-year-old Alexa, 4-year-old Ashlyn, and 1-year-old Daniela and his wife, Isabella, were all killed. Firefighters say their mobile home along Smoke Creek Parkway caught fire early Saturday morning. Crews and witnesses tried to rescue the family, but they couldn't make it inside. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board has now released initial findings in their federal investigation into the deadly liquid nitrogen leak at a food plant in Gainesville. 6 people died and nearly a dozen others were hospitalized. 11Alive's Chanu Her shows us what the CSB has found so far.
Just a little more than a week into their investigation, the U.S. Chemical Safety Board is already finding out what may have gone wrong at the plant leading to that deadly liquid nitrogen leak. So far in their investigation, the federal agency on Sunday says the Foundation Food Group plant had been experiencing operational issues that may have led to the accidental release of liquid nitrogen. The CSB says line number 4 was shut down the morning of the leak due to operational issues on the conveyor belt. The finding also says a computerized measuring system showed low liquid levels in the bath used to flash freeze chicken. Last week, the CEO of the CSB said during a briefing the plant's system was fairly new.
We do know that major portions of the liquid nitrogen system, both interior and exterior, were installed and commissioned in the last 4 to 6 weeks.
This incident has sparked activists and lawmakers to push for change at the meat processing plants nationwide.
These 6 individuals did not have to die.
Just last week, the CSB told me it could take years before a complete report is done. But if they do come across urgent recommendations, they'll make those right away.
We have been following this story closely since it happened. You can find all of the latest updates and read the latest detailed findings on 11alive.com. Tomorrow, former President Donald Trump's second impeachment trial is slated to begin. With just 24 hours left to go, there are still many unknowns about how it will proceed. CNN's Lauren Fox has details.
Final preparations are underway this morning for former President Trump's second impeachment trial. The House charging him with incitement of insurrection for his actions leading up to the deadly riot at the Capitol on January 6th.
People came to that Capitol with the full intent of hurting people. So we need to hold the president accountable for what happened.
The Senate leaders are still deciding the rules of the trial, including whether witnesses can be called. Many of the senators themselves present during the attack.
You can't presume that either the Senate or the country are aware of all the facts. You really need to present that full picture, and I'm confident that they will.
Trump's legal team rejecting a request for him to testify. For now, House managers are expected to use videos from the riot as evidence, with hours of footage available, like this new clip showing the man known as the QAnon shaman about 4 hours into the siege.
Donald Trump asked everybody to go home. He just put out a tweet. It's a minute long. He asked everybody to go home.
Why do you think so?
Because, dude, we won the day.
My dad
won.
They're also expected to bring Trump's repeated attempts to overturn his election loss to now President Joe Biden, and his actions on the day of the insurrection, including this speech.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Trump's lawyers will likely argue the speech did not cause the riot and is protected by the First Amendment, and that the Senate cannot vote to impeach Trump because he no longer holds office. 17 Republicans need to join all Senate Democrats to find Trump guilty. And with that unlikely, many GOP lawmakers are calling impeachment a waste of time.
When it comes to Trump, there seems to be no end to all of this. So the trial is going to result in an acquittal.
But Democrats strongly disagree.
Impeachment comes not only with a provision to remove an official from office, but to disqualify them for future office. So there is still a consequence to President Trump if convicted.
Meanwhile, Congresswoman Liz Cheney is still facing backlash for being one of 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump last month. The third-ranking GOP member censured in her home state of Wyoming over the weekend, saying action against Trump could go beyond impeachment.
The Senate trial is a snapshot. There is a massive criminal investigation underway. There are a lot of questions that have to be answered.
Some Senate Democrats are also looking to expedite the trial because President Joe Biden's coronavirus relief package hangs in the balance. The Senate won't approve it until the trial is over. The U.S. has a history of controversial political figures, but congressional punishment for their actions is rare. Why? Our Why Guy explains after the break.
Had none up here since the 1st century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up. Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee. Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
New at noon, a prank gone wrong. A man in Tennessee was shot to death while filming a prank video for YouTube. Rachel Teed has the story from Nashville.
A parking lot now filled with cars, kids, and families enjoying a fun evening at Urban Air, a trampoline park. It was a different scene Friday night. Police say a man named Timothy Wilkes and a friend did a prank robbery, running at a group with a butcher knife. That's when one in the group shot Wilkes, unaware that it was fake. Police say it was being filmed as part of a YouTube video and that no charges are being filed right now. People living nearby said they heard the whole thing.
I was in my room, right? So I was eating, and I dropped my burger. So much shots.
Now, about that friend that police mentioned. I reached out to police to see if that unnamed person will be facing charges. I haven't heard back yet, But a lawyer I spoke to says this video could mean legal trouble for that friend.
I'm sure that the people involved in this would like to characterize it as a prank, but it certainly seems to be a prank that went seriously awry.
Prank videos are popular on YouTube, but the difference between a monetized channel or a reality show versus just two citizens pulling pranks is an extra level of protection. Insurance to protect against pranks gone wrong. Copycat citizens wouldn't necessarily have that. As for YouTube, Harvey says the company itself isn't in legal trouble, but they do crack down on videos that promote harm or illegal acts. As for what happened here Friday, Urban Air and the businesses next door didn't comment on what happened, but the neighbors who live nearby,
I was like, dang, that's crazy,
say it's beyond them why this happened.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jesse McNeil. What are your plans for this afternoon? Perhaps take the bike out on the trail. It will be warm enough and sunny enough to get on out there. We're looking at temperatures getting up to the upper 50s this afternoon. Nice mild afternoon for us after a very chilly start, but we'll have plenty of sunshine around. Clouds will increase late, and I'm thinking that's after the sun sets today, and the winds will remain light, about 10 miles per hour or less today. Notice the radar, nice and clean. We had a few clouds over us this morning, but they have since died out. So we're sitting pretty for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures starting to warm up as well. We're up to 55 degrees right now in Athens. Got some 50s down here south of the city of Atlanta. In fact, Atlanta had 50. You're at 49 degrees in Carrollton. You run into the 40s the further north you go. Up toward Duluth, you're at 48, 49 degrees in Gainesville, 49 also in Blairsville, 41 the cool spot way up here in Clayton. I recall this weekend we had some snow around the forecast area. Up here to the north, places like Union Towns County, White Lumpkin County still had some slick spots this morning, so school started off a little bit late this morning to give some time for that sun to rise and melt off some of that ice, patchy ice on some of the roadways up there. I suspect now things are starting to warm up just a little bit, and so that's some good news. But again, up here in the higher elevations of the North Georgia Mountains, still a bit on the chilly side this morning or this afternoon, where temperatures are in the 50s on the south side. Again, we'll get up to 57 degrees for an afternoon high temperature. That's a little bit above our average for this time of year. Going to give it a 10 out of a possible 11 today on the Wizometer. Now, the Wizometer is how we rate your weather on a scale from 1 to 11, with 11 being the most perfect day we could have at this time of year. And some of you are probably saying, well, yeah, that's pretty perfect, but 57 is just above our average. We had it up to about, let's say, maybe 65, 67. Yeah, that would be a perfect day for this time of the year, right? We're just almost at our average for this time of year, so 10, double digits, still pretty good. You notice upstream, not much taking place. The clouds that you see up here to the north not really moving further toward the east. You had some down here to the south, and I suspect that's where the rain will be. But our clouds will increase from the south as well. We'll wind up with mostly cloudy skies a little bit later on tonight. You notice the easterly flow around this area of high pressure. It's up here to the north. I think we'll turn more southeasterly this afternoon, and that will help to boost those temperatures up as well. I think some spots will get above 57 this afternoon as well, maybe even some 60s a little south of the city. Here it is, our forecast track model. You can follow along with the time right there at the top of the screen. It shows the fair skies for the rest of the afternoon. It won't be until after 8 or 9 o'clock that we'll notice these clouds begin to increase. In fact, we'll wind up with mostly cloudy skies by the time we get to 10, 11 o'clock tonight. When you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll still be there. Mostly cloudy skies. There will be about I'll give it a 20% chance for an isolated shower or two. Most of that rain stays down here to the south. In fact, as we head toward the afternoon, here we are by 1, and notice these clouds are starting to break up. I think we'll have a mix of sun and clouds during the afternoon on Tuesday. Late Tuesday, once the sun sets again, we'll see the clouds increasing once again. And then here comes the chance for a few isolated showers around. That'll be for Wednesday afternoon. That chance will stick around for the evening as well. Better chance for that rain coming to us by Thursday. Got a front. It's going to be making its way toward the area. We'll increase our chance for rain up to 80% and could be a clap of thunder around as well on your Thursday going into Friday. Let's recap the 7-day outlook for you. Today, my pick for the week, 10 on the Wizometer. Nice day. 20% chance for the rain tomorrow. Most of us will stay dry. 62 degrees for the high temperature, but we will have that mix of sun and clouds. Cloudy skies on Wednesday, 30% chance for the rain, 80% chance by Thursday. We'll hold on to it through Friday morning, and then we'll clear it out a little as we head toward the weekend.
Last week, we watched as the House voted to strip Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments, but she's not the only controversial political figure. Each year, there are dozens of complaints concerning the behavior of our representatives in Congress. Still, punishments are rare. Why? Here's our Why Guy.
Representative David Schweikert of Arizona isn't exactly a household name. You probably missed it when he was reprimanded on the House floor last summer after he admitted to nearly a dozen ethics violations. It was the first public shaming of a House member in 8 years. Ethics complaints filed against members of Congress are not unusual, but public rebukes are rare and expulsions are even less frequent. Let's explore why. The U.S. Constitution states that Congress can punish members for disorderly behavior, but it's up to members of Congress to determine what that means.
There's no list, not even a suggested list, of misconduct that would trigger a sanction. So not only is it undefined and somewhat arbitrary, it can be inconsistent.
Both the House and Senate have committees that look into complaints. According to their annual report, the Senate Ethics Committee looked into 144 alleged violations of Senate rules last year, dismissing all of them because they either lacked merit or adequate information. UGA political science professor Dr. Charles Bullock says investigating a fellow member of Congress can be touchy.
Well, these are your friends. You're not that comfortable, calling them down. And again, for some instance, it might be a situation where a person is there, but for the grace of God, go I.
Members of Congress can expel, censure, condemn, denounce, or reprimand. In 1979, Georgia Senator Herman Talmadge was denounced over financial improprieties. He lost his bid for re-election the next year. Several members of Congress have resigned under the threat of expulsion. That's what happened with Robert Packwood in 1995, the last time a U.S. senator has faced expulsion.
If you have a question for our Why Guy, send it to us on Facebook, Twitter, or email. Former Georgia Tech wide receiver Calvin Johnson is heading to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This time, or his time in the NFL with the Detroit Lions might have been relatively short, but clearly he made the most of it, and now he will live forever in Canton, Ohio.
To be a member of this, excellent fraternity, to be a member of the guys that grew up watching, to be a member, be alongside of the guys that I emulated my game after, to say, hey, I did this because of you. I saw you do this, to be able to meet those guys, just to be amongst such a great group of guys and the excellence and to be the best of the game, the best in the game. Truly an honor. I'm still beside myself.
What an honor. The 2021 Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony is set for August 8th. It's celebration time for Tom Brady and the Buc fans. Tampa Bay winning the Super Bowl in a big way. We're breaking down the night's most memorable moments before the big win.
Morning news should be both informative and fun. Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up. Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
With all the energy of your morning coffee. Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11.
Super Bowl 55 still trending today. Tom Brady being called the greatest of all time, the GOAT. For obvious reasons, I think. 7 wins, 2 different teams, and only the second NFL quarterback to do it. Tampa Bay really beating out the Kansas City Chiefs at home to get their second championship title in 18 years. Tampa Bay's mayor says that at some point there will be a celebration for the Bucs and a Tom Brady Day. But before the big win, there were several other Super Bowl moments that had people buzzing on social media. Liza Lucas has a breakdown of the weekend's halftime show and your favorite, the commercials.
Much of the post-game buzz online has been dedicated to the halftime action. The Weeknd spending $7 million of his own money for his big Super Bowl moment. The fireworks-fueled performance included a host of robot-like choir singers amid a medley of the Weeknd's hit songs. At one point during the set, the Weeknd entering what appeared to be a golden hallway of mirrors, that moment inspiring one of the night's biggest memes. The reviews of the show ultimately mixed, some praising the Weeknd's Michael Jackson vibes, while others less impressed. Off the field, much of the focus was on the commercials.
Saw you snacking on the sofa.
Wasn't me. Brands like Cheetos, State Farm, and Alexa creating buzz, fueled with celebrity faces, while others opted for a more unusual approach.
Cow. No, no, no.
Many of the commercials we saw this year were focused on being light and entertaining. The price tag, $5.5 million for 30 seconds of your Super Bowl Sunday attention.
So was it worth it? What was your favorite? You can find more of the biggest moments on Super Bowl 55 on 11alive.com, including the most searched commercials and full performances.
.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun. Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up. Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
With all the energy of your morning coffee. Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush.
We want to share a great story from last night's big game that came from right here in the Metro. Employees from Children's Healthcare of Atlanta were among the many frontline workers invited to the Super Bowl as honorary guests of the NFL. The NFL gave 7,500 vaccinated healthcare employees free tickets to the game. According to the league, all 32 NFL teams were able to select healthcare workers from their communities. And I can't think of anyone more deserving to go and be at that game than 7,500 vaccinated healthcare workers who have been on the front lines, helping to protect us and keep us healthy for going on a year now. Thank you for all you do. I hope you enjoyed the game. Well, thanks for watching 11Alive News at noon. Stay safe.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. for Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in